What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Q&A. This is going to be Q&A 12, man. Can't believe how many videos we've done for this already. I really did not expect this type of, Q&A special to be so big as it is, but I'm really happy it is. So, we got another request by my good buddy Zaid. This is going to be a Superman special. Obviously, you can tell because I'm wearing the shirt and I'm wearing my hat. I haven't worn this hat in so long. I haven't worn this hat since the Batman v Superman days. That was like, what was that, like 2-3 years ago? That was a long time ago. Alright, so I'm wearing the hat again. How about that? So, let's go ahead and get started with, alright, so he asked me, which actor do you prefer as Superman? Christopher Reeve or Henry Cavill? Christopher Reeve. He's, like, the amount of people have agreed and have said that Christopher Reeve is basically Superman. Like, and that's true because he plays that role exactly how it's supposed to be. Like when people think of Superman, they think of Christopher Reeve. When they think about the Superman movies, they think about his movies. Like, that's just how it is. And, you know, going back, I love like all those movies except like the fourth one. I hate that one, but I like 1 through 3. Like, that's just me. But yeah, man, Christopher Reeve all the way. All right, so number 2. If you had all of Superman's powers, what would you do with them for a whole day? Me personally, I think like just have his powers like for a day. Oh man, like if I had like one of those Superman pills from like All-Star Superman, I would just like fly around the world, man. I would fly like all day. Like that's what I would want to do. I would just want to fly in the air the whole day and then like maybe save a couple people here and there, you know, saving the day, all that good stuff, you know, fly up and smile for the camera and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would fly I would just fly until the night just falls, and then I would relax. But yeah, man, like that's what I would want to do if I had Superman's powers. Like, that's exciting. Number 3. Who is your favorite Superman villain? So this one had me stumped for a while because I remember when I read this question the first time, I didn't know. I actually didn't know. Like. You know, when people ask you a question, like sometimes you don't know. Like sometimes you think you know, but you don't know. And this is actually one of those questions where, like, you know, because I'm a Superman fan, like I would think I would know like who's my favorite villain, but since it's being asked of me, like I honestly did not know. I did not know for a little bit. It took me a while, and my answer was Doomsday. I actually really like Doomsday because Doomsday was such a is such a challenge for Superman. He's such a pain. Like every single time like he runs into Doomsday, it's like a big headache for him because he's one of his strongest opponents he's ever faced. One of his strongest opponents he ever has faced. And if he kills him, he just comes back to life, and then he can't use the same thing that he killed him last time to kill him again with. And that's just such a big trick with Doomsday because he's so powerful. So yeah, Doomsday would be my favorite because he's not the typical villain he can just keep down. So yeah, man, he's one of my favorites. Number 4, what is the best moment from any Superman movie or cartoon in general? This is a really, really good question because I actually ended up doing a ton of research for this question because I haven't actually been paying attention to the Superman. I haven't watched any movies or cartoons in recent time. So I thought about it for a while, and I ended up having 3 answers because there are a lot of good Superman moments. There are a lot of great Superman moments that I honestly forgot about. Like just to name a few examples, you have a part in Superman, you have like 2 parts in Superman Returns, the movie, where like you get that scene where he's just walking toward the guy shooting the machine gun at him, and then he shoots him in the eye, hits his eye and just bounces off and lands on the floor. And then like you got the scene where he's saving the plane, like people love that scene. You got the scene where he fights Zod and Man of Steel. You know, you got the scenes where in the cartoon series where he's, you know, fighting all his other villains. Like, there's so many great moments with him. And I ended up having like 3 moments. I have like one favorite moment. I have the actual best moment and like a good moment from the cartoon series, like the best moment from the cartoon series. So the best moment, a lot of people I think would agree with me, is Superman 2, where he gets the upper hand on Zod. I would most likely think that majority of people would say that the best Superman moment ever would be the scene where he gets the upper hand on Zod, crushes his hand, throws him across the room. Like that scene is like the best Superman scene. But my favorite Superman scene would probably be in Batman v Superman, where he has to sacrifice himself to save everyone from Doomsday. So he gets stabbed through the chest and he dies. Like I actually teared up a bit in the theater. I was actually surprised. I didn't think I was that big of a Superman fan until I actually shed some tears at that part. So yeah, man, that was a really powerful moment for me. From the cartoon series, the best moment would probably be the JLU, the Justice League Unlimited series, where he fights Darkseid. And it's in the city, and he gives this speech about how the world he lives in is like cardboard, and he's being very careful not to break anything, because he can't lose control even for a moment. So that was a really good moment too, and he was telling him about how this is the time for him to cut loose and just, you know, show him how powerful he is. Like, that was a really good moment in the animated series. That was really good. So yeah, but to answer the question again, Superman 2 with Zod, him getting the upper hand on Zod, that's the best moment in Superman movies, cartoons, period. Like, that's just is. Number 5. Name one unique similarity between Superman and Spider-Man and why you like them both. Okay, so Superman and Spider-Man. There are a lot of things that are similar to them, like their lives, their women, you know, like them as characters in general. But I think the one big thing with those two is that how they're just Marvel and DC. They're just big Boy Scouts. They're the big Boy Scouts of Marvel and DC. Spider-Man will not kill. Superman will not kill. They're both one of the most powerful beings in their universes. You know, they both do not give up. Like, to get them to stop, they have to be killed to stop them. That's how persistent. They're very both persistent when it comes to fighting a threat or fighting a villain. Like, they do not give up, period. And that's, I think, one of the biggest similarities between them as heroes, is that they will not give up. They will not back down. Even if they don't have their powers, they will find some way to defeat evil in some way, shape, or form. All right, so number 6, which Superman villain would you fight? Doomsday, Brainiac, Darkseid, Bizarro, Lobo, or Lex Luthor? It's a lot of choices. Would I want to fight? Lex Luthor, I mean, I don't want to fight Lex Luthor. Not because I can't take him, it's just because it's like, why would I want to fight you type of thing. Like, I don't want to fight Lex Luthor. Like, okay, then you got Lobo. Lobo's just annoying. Like he's probably one of the most annoying Superman villains, period. Like, besides Screaming Banshee, where she hurts your eardrums. You know, I'm surprised that wasn't on the list. And you got Bizarro, who would confuse the hell out of me because he just keeps talking backwards, and I'm like, wait, slow down. What are you talking? Can you repeat that? Like Bizarro is it can be confusing sometimes because he just speaks everything backwards. And you got Darkseid. Darkseid, maybe Darkseid. He would be cool to fight just because he's really intimidating, really strong, and he's like, he thinks of himself as a god, and that's who you're up against, pretty much. And then you got Brainiac, who who beats you with his brain, that's a pretty cool fight. You know, you can sit there and think about, like, how are you going to fight him, take him down, all that. But I would probably say Doomsday, maybe. I would like to fight Doomsday. Like, just because he's my favorite villain, and, you know, that would probably be one of the toughest fights, you know, ever. Not just for Superman, but for me. All right, so moving on. Number 7, what is your favorite Superman comic book and why? So, this is a really good question. This one actually also got me stumped. It actually got me thinking. And I thought about it, and I think that my favorite comic book would be All-Star Superman. Just because it's unique. It's such a unique idea. Take Superman, basically give him cancer. He's dying now. It's such a good book because, you know, he finally tells Lois he's Superman. You know, he comes up against these big threats. You know, I think one of my favorite scenes, and this is why it's my favorite, is the scene where this girl is on this building and she's gonna kill herself. She's gonna suicide, right? She's gonna kill herself. And, you know, it was so good because then Superman comes and he's like, oh, you know, you're not alone, and they hug it out. I'm surprised that wasn't in the animated movie. That was such a good moment. Like, that dealt with a very serious issue of suicide, and that was just such a great moment because, you know, Superman's dying, and he's slowly dying, you know, and when you're slowly dying, there are some people who just want to die and get it over with, but, you know, Superman is an example of, like, you know, don't give up. Like, you know, it's okay type of thing. Like, that was such a good moment. It's probably why it's my favorite comic book. There are a lot of great moments from the comic books, too. A lot of recent comic books that I really like. Like, I love in the new Superman books where he's teaching his kid. He has a son. He's, like, teaching his son how to be Superman. He's teaching him how to use his powers and abilities. And then he's married. He's with Lois. And then fucking Bendis comes in and he fucks up everything. But we don't want to talk about Bendis in this video, but that's also good moments too. Like, I love that too. And then you got the Death of Superman comic book. That's really good too. I love the adaptation they did of the recent. They did 2 movies basically of the Death of Superman. I like both of those movies. Yeah. So moving on, number 8. What is your favorite Superman costume and why? This is a good question. There are a lot of Superman costumes. I would say my favorite would have to be the Man of Steel costume. Just because I love the texture and the design and the full detail of the costume. Like, they just put so much work and effort into that costume, and I really, really love it. And then you have, I think my second favorite would have to be the black suit. With the silver S, like, that one's really good too when he comes back to life in Death of Superman. That's really good too. I think I also like the Regime outfit. I also like the Injustice 1 Superman outfit. I like that one too. Man, there's a lot of good costumes. But Man of Steel is my favorite, just because of the textures, the detail, the design. I love it. Number 9, should Superman have a video game like the Arkham series for Batman, and why? Yes, because it's Superman! Like, come on. Like, you give Batman the treatment, but you can't give Superman the treatment. But, no, seriously, I think I've talked about this before. I don't like to do those type of videos. That's why I kind of, like, unsubscribed from certain people who talk about the rumors and stuff like that about Batman, like the Batman games or the Superman games, because I don't care, because I already know you're kind of full of shit type of thing. Like you're not... Like, you don't really know type of thing. Like I'm the type of guy now who waits until a trailer drops. But going back to the question, yeah, Superman should have his own video game. Like, can you imagine what they could do with it if they did it right? Like, I'm serious. Like they could really, if they put heart and soul into everything they do with the game, like they did with Batman, But you can also argue with Batman, they have had a lot of games to build up from the groundwork to work off of and to build up the combat and everything they did with that series. I think with Superman, you really could pull it off. You just really need to know how you're going to do your flight system. You need to know how, you need to have the Metropolis. You need to have a big Metropolis. You need to have really good quests. You need to have a really good level up system. That's another trick. You got to have a good level up system. And I've talked about how I would make a Superman video game. I'm not going to talk about that here, but it's very important you get these dynamics down. So I think if they gave, what they gave to Batman, that treatment to Superman, I think that they could nail it. They just have to nail the gameplay, the flying mechanics, and the combat, and, the level up system, which is basically everything. You basically have to get everything right, or, work off of some things. So, yeah, it would be hard, but I think he should get his own game series like the Arkham series. He definitely should. You could do so much. You just gotta do it, DC. Do it, DC. They demand it. The DC fans demand it. The Superman fans demand it. They want it. Just give it to them. All right, number 10. Come on, Rocksteady. Give us that Superman game. I know that's what you're working on. We know that's what you're doing. Because what else are they doing? They better not be doing a Flash game or a Green Arrow game. I'm going to throw my fucking phone across the room. Okay, number 10. Do you want Henry Cavill to still be Superman in the future DC movies? Yes, I do. I want him to still be Superman. I think he's really good. Is he as good as Henry Cavill? No. Is he better than Henry? Oh wait, no. Is he better than Christopher Reeve? No. Is he really good? Is he a really good Superman? Yes, he's a really good Superman of this era. He is really, really good. The Superman will always be Christopher Reeve, but I like Henry Cavill. I like when they give him good stuff to work off of, he does a good job. I think they need to work with him more. I know Ben Affleck's out as Batman, and I didn't make a video on that. I know people are wondering what I think about that, but if you guys want me to make a video on that, let me know. But yeah, I don't know. Henry Cavill, I think, should stay. He's really good, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, that's it for this video. A lot of good questions in here. A lot of good questions. If you guys have any more questions that you want me to answer in a video, leave them in the Q&A videos, and that way I know that you want me to answer them in a video rather than, in the comments if you did a different video. So let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.